A South Carolina man was busted after unknowingly admitting to an undercover police officer that he wanted to make a child his sex slave. As if that wasn't bad enough, the officer never could have anticipated the second horrifying discovery that he would learn about the sick man. 36-year-old Justin Teeter Bensing of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, believed he was talking to an innocent 14-year-old girl through online communications using the alias rebel Deese. During what he thought was a private conversation, he expressed his desire to turn a child into a full-time baby maker and sex slave, according to the state. Unbeknownst to Bensing, he was actually admitting his sick desires to an undercover Greenville County police officer. However, according to Fox News, even the officer was unprepared for what he would learn about the sick man next. As if his first admission wasn't troubling enough, Bensing also expressed that he wanted to physically cannibalize a child. On the night of his arrest, Bensing traveled from Myrtle Beach to Greenville to pick up who he thought was the 14-year-old girl. You can imagine his surprise when he was met with handcuffs instead of his 14-year-old baby maker and sex slave. In addition to his sex slave desire and cannibalism, cops discovered that he intended to make his victim drink her own urine as well as expressed passions for bestiality. This man is absolutely disgusting. Bensing was arrested on February 12 and is facing 2 counts of criminal solicitation of a minor in connection with a roundup of more than 40 accused child predators and sex traffickers. What's even more infuriating about this particular situation is that after he appeared before a judge, he was released on February 14. His bond had only been set at $10,000 for each of the 2 charges, and there were no conditions set on the bond. However, he is facing up to 10 years per charge in prison if he's convicted. The 2-week-long sting, called Operation Millstone, resulted in the arrest of 14 child predators, 2 human traffickers, 10 prostitutes, and 18 Johns. When asked, Sheriff Will Lewis stated, "Depravity doesn't even begin to describe this." The operation is rooted in the New Testament book of Matthew in a verse that reads, "If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea." It's concerning that a man who is this sick has been released under no conditions. He presents a clear threat, not only to young girls, but to a civilized society, and shouldn't be trusted to walk free. There's no telling what he's willing to do, especially now that his secret has been exposed and he's facing decades in jail. What does he have to lose should he act on his depraved desires? After all, he was already set to take action. He was just met by an officer rather than the young girl he was hoping for. It's a scary world we live in when a man not only has such fantasies but will admit his sick sexual desires to what he believes is a 14-year-old girl. There's no telling how far he would have gone if it wasn't an undercover police officer he went to pick up. Technology makes it too easy for predators to talk to our children, and it's necessary that we, as parents, take the proper precautions to ensure that our children aren't made victims by twisted adults. Although this monster may be out on bond now, hopefully, he will get the opportunity to spend time behind bars, to think about his actions, where his fellow inmates can let him know what they think of men who prey on children. It must be a relief for the police officers who busted Justin Teeter Bensing and others like him, knowing that they potentially saved a child from becoming a victim of the depraved desires of sick men. It can't be an easy job for these officers, but at least it was a success.